Welcome back to my channel StarWire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. It's 2 a.m. You're scrolling through your streaming platform, and suddenly you stumble upon a film that shouldn't exist. A movie so dark, so twisted that Hollywood tried to bury it. But here's the thing about buried secrets in Tinsel Town. They have a way of clawing their way back to the surface. And right now, Johnny Depp's most controversial horror thriller is doing exactly that, dominating free streaming platforms and leaving audiences both terrified and mesmerized. The film I'm talking about has become the ultimate guilty pleasure, racking up millions of views while sparking heated debates across social media. Critics called it disturbing, fans called it genius, and the studio, well, they just wanted it to disappear. But in an age where nothing truly vanishes, this cinematic nightmare has found new life, and it's more relevant now than ever before. You see? There's something almost prophetic about stumbling upon a forgotten Depp performance in today's climate. Here's an actor who's been through the storm of public opinion, emerged battered but not broken. And somehow, this overlooked gem feels like a mirror reflecting not just his artistry, but his entire journey through Hollywood's dark underbelly. The film in question, and yes, I'll reveal which one in just a moment, was originally dismissed as too bizarre for mainstream audiences, too psychological, too uncomfortable. The kind of movie that makes you question not just what you're watching, but why you can't look away. And isn't that exactly what the best horror does? It holds up a distorted mirror to our own fears, our own darkness, our own fascination with the things we're not supposed to enjoy. But here's where the story gets really interesting. This isn't just about a movie gaining unexpected popularity. This is about timing, about cultural moments, about how an actor's personal struggles can suddenly make their art feel more authentic, more raw, more necessary. When Johnny Depp disappeared from our screens for a while, we forgot just how hypnotic he could be when given the right material. And this horror thriller, it's the right material on steroids. The movie I'm talking about is The Ninth Gate, Roman Polanski's 1999 supernatural thriller that paired Depp with one of cinema's most controversial directors at a time when both men were still considered Hollywood royalty. Now, I know what you're thinking. 1999 isn't exactly recent. But here's the beautiful irony. Sometimes it takes decades for audiences to truly understand what they're looking at. When The Ninth Gate first hit theaters, it was met with a collective shrug. Critics found it pretentious. Audiences found it slow. Box office returns were disappointing. The film seemed destined to become a footnote in both Depp's and Polanski's careers. But streaming platforms have a funny way of resurrecting the unloved. And suddenly, viewers are discovering this dark meditation on obsession, books, and the devil himself. Depp plays Dean Corso, a rare book dealer who specializes in the occult. He's cynical, morally flexible, and utterly captivating as he becomes obsessed with authenticating a book that supposedly can summon Satan. It's vintage Depp, that perfect blend of charm and corruption that made him such a magnetic screen presence. But there's something different here, something more grounded than his later, more theatrical performances. What makes The Ninth Gate so compelling in 2024 is how it feels like a fever dream about the dangers of obsession. Corso's journey becomes increasingly surreal as he travels across Europe, encountering mysterious deaths, seductive women, and ancient secrets. The film moves at a deliberate pace that would probably drive modern audiences crazy, except it doesn't. Instead, viewers are finding themselves drawn into its hypnotic rhythm, its atmospheric dread, its refusal to provide easy answers. The production itself was shrouded in controversy from day one. Polanski, already a polarizing figure, insisted on shooting in actual historical locations across France, Spain, and Portugal. The attention to detail was obsessive. Every book, every manuscript, Every occult symbol was researched and crafted with scholarly precision. Depp threw himself into the role with characteristic intensity, spending weeks studying rare book, dealing, and medieval occultism. But the real controversy came from the film's unflinching exploration of dark themes. This isn't your typical horror movie with jump scares and gore. Instead, it's a slow-burn psychological thriller that asks uncomfortable questions about desire, corruption, and the price of forbidden knowledge. The film suggests that evil isn't some external force, it's something we invite in, something we choose, something we become. Frank Langella delivers a chilling performance as Boris Balkan, a wealthy collector whose obsession with the occult drives the plot. His scenes with Depp crackle with tension, two men circling each other like predators, each convinced they're the hunter rather than the prey. And then there's Emmanuelle Signer as the mysterious girl, a character who may or may not be supernatural, who helps and hinders Corso in equal measure. The cinematography deserves special mention. Darius Khondji creates a visual language that's both beautiful and unsettling. European architecture becomes threatening. Libraries feel like cathedrals of forbidden knowledge. Even daylight scenes carry an undercurrent of menace. It's the kind of visual storytelling that rewards multiple viewings, the kind that reveals new details each time you watch. What's fascinating is how the film's themes resonate differently now. In 1999, a story about a man becoming consumed by the pursuit of rare, dangerous knowledge felt like pure fantasy. In 2024, when information and misinformation spread at light speed, when people disappeared down rabbit holes of conspiracy theories and dangerous ideologies, Corso's journey feels almost documentary-like in its relevance. The film's exploration of authenticity versus forgery takes on new meaning in our age of deepfakes and manufactured reality. Corso's job is literally to determine what's real and what's fake, a skill that feels increasingly valuable in our post-truth world. And his gradual corruption, his willingness to compromise his principles for knowledge and profit, feels like a metaphor for our current cultural moment. Depp's performance benefits enormously from hindsight. Knowing what we know now about his personal struggles, his battles with the media, his complex relationship with fame and success. There's something almost prophetic about watching him play a character who becomes consumed by forces beyond his control. The cynicism feels earned. The corruption feels authentic. The ultimate transformation feels inevitable. The supporting cast adds layers of complexity to an already intricate narrative. James Russo appears as Bernie, Corso's business partner, bringing a grounded New York energy to the European mysticism. Lena Olin is magnetic as Liana Telfer, relationship that keeps viewers guessing, debating, returning to the film for clues they might have missed as we watch The Ninth Gate gain new life on streaming platforms. It's worth considering what this says about our current entertainment landscape. Audiences are clearly hungry for films that challenge them, that don't provide easy answers, that trust them to engage with complex material. The success of this overlooked thriller suggests that there's still an appetite for the kind of thoughtful, atmospheric filmmaking that seems increasingly rare in theatrical releases. The film's ending, which I won't spoil here, has become a source of endless debate among viewers. It's the kind of conclusion that recontextualizes everything that came before, that sends you back to the beginning with new eyes. It's bold, ambiguous, and utterly uncompromising in its refusal to provide traditional closure. What makes Johnny Depp's performance so compelling is how it captures him at a specific moment in his career. Still grounded, still subtle, not yet lost in the theatrical excess that would characterize some of his later work. This is Depp at his most naturalistic, finding the extraordinary in the ordinary, making the unbelievable feel inevitable. The film's current popularity also speaks to our collective nostalgia for a time when movies could be weird, when studios would take risks on unusual material. When directors were allowed to pursue their vision, even if it didn't fit easily into marketing categories. The Ninth Gate is proudly, defiantly strange. And audiences are responding to that strangeness with enthusiasm. So here we are, 25 years after its initial release, watching a forgotten film become a streaming sensation. It's a reminder that great art doesn't always find its audience immediately. That sometimes it takes years or even decades for viewers to catch up with a filmmaker's vision. The Ninth Gate is having its moment, and that moment feels perfectly timed for our current cultural landscape. The film serves as a fascinating glimpse into what might have been a different trajectory for both Depp and Polanski. A different approach to genre filmmaking, a different relationship between studios and audiences. But rather than dwelling on what might have been, we can simply appreciate what is, a singular, hypnotic thriller that rewards patient viewers with rich, complex storytelling. As you scroll through your streaming platform tonight, maybe you'll stumble upon The Ninth Gate. Maybe you'll be drawn in by curiosity about Depp's overlooked performance. Or maybe you'll be intrigued by the promise of something different, something that doesn't follow familiar formulas. Either way, you'll be in for an experience that lingers long after the credits roll. The kind of film that makes you question what you think you know about good and evil, about desire and corruption, about the price we pay for the things we think we want. And isn't that exactly what the best cinema should do? Challenge us, disturb us, make us think. The Ninth Gate does all of that and more. It's a film that respects its audience, trusts them to engage with complex ideas, and rewards them with a story that grows richer with each viewing. In our current moment, when authenticity feels increasingly rare and everything seems designed for immediate consumption and quick disposal, there's something refreshing about a film that demands patience, rewards attention, and refuses to provide easy answers. The Ninth Gate is that film, and its unexpected streaming success suggests that audiences are hungrier for this kind of thoughtful entertainment than industry executives might realize. So what do you think? Have you discovered The Ninth Gate on your streaming adventures? Did it live up to the hype, or did you find yourself lost in its deliberate pacing and ambiguous storytelling? And more importantly, what does its success say about what we want from our entertainment right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to hear how this film lands with viewers discovering it for the first time. If you enjoyed diving deep into this overlooked gem, hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations of the films and performances that deserve a second look. There's so much great cinema hiding in plain sight on streaming platforms, waiting for the right moment to find its audience. Until next time, keep watching, keep questioning, and never underestimate the power of a film that dares to be different.